project along the Kenya-Somali border conceived to keep out Al-Shabaab militants turned into a cash cow, gobbling over 3.3 billion for a 10-kilometer stretch. According to a report tabled in the National Assembly, the revelations which have outraged lawmakers tells a tale of impunity where people charged with state resources splashed 300 million shillings per kilometer on the security barrier consisting of a chain link, razor-barbed wire and concrete poles. Our senior reporter Chris Thairu now joins us live from Wajir. Good afternoon, Thairu. It is quite interesting, especially noting that for per kilometer, 300 million was spent for a chain link, razor-barbed wire, concrete poles. I don't know. What do you have for us, Thairu?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Grace, and our dear viewers. We are coming to you live from County 08, that is Wajir County. And it is interesting, as you correctly put it, that these 700-kilometer wall that was to separate Somalia and Kenya started 2 years ago, and the budget was close to 8 billion shillings, but only 10 kilometers of that wall has been constructed, and it has costed 3.4 billion shillings. And if you calculate if they were to do 700 kilometers, then it will take, of course, reach trillions of shillings if at all that wall was to be constructed. But what we know is that the National Assembly has already stopped any funding to that project until investigations are conducted. We are in Wajir. The wall was supposed to start from, or it has started from Mandera. It was supposed by now, it was supposed to have passed through Wajir and down up to Mombasa, but that has not taken place. And now I'm joined by the area MP, Wajir East, Rashid Kasim. Welcome to KTN News. Briefly tell us, what do you take of this project that has taken 3.4 billion shillings for 10 kilometers only?
Well, I think we as Kenyans, when we are conceiving any project, we don't conceive with a rational mind. This project was meant to move to a distance of 700 kilometers from Mandera to Kinga in Lamu with a budget of 7 billion shillings. It was meant to stop movement of people and properties and goods from Somalia to Kenya and eventually be able to cap security. The rationale is the rationale going to be met with that kind of idea? Kenya is a porous country. Has boundaries with Somalia, has boundaries with Ethiopia, has boundaries with Tanzania, has many countries. Are you going to cage us as a country with the cages, with the walls? We are going to look like as if we are a zoo. The people of Kenya are a zoo. So generally even confining us within walls and barbed wires. And I think the only people who deserve to be caged is the wildlife. We know that the National Assembly have stopped this project, funding of this project. So, but the issue is that so far they have spent 3.4 billion shillings, and we have only done about 7 kilometers. Not even 10 kilometers has been said. Initially, it was supposed to be done by KNYS, moved to Interior, Minister of Interior, and then eventually to Defense. When you see a project that has movement of, the host department, it's moving from Minister of Interior, it is a choreographed in a way so that it's going to be an eatery place for funds. Mm-hmm. So that money was initially designed to be misused, is a funding that has been earmarked by the budget, by the Kenya budget, and its taxpayers. So for usage of 7 billion shillings, the project was ill-conceived. It was initially ill-conceived, but we as members of parliament, we said this project is not likely to meet the interests of Kenyans. It's not likely to stop Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab is ideological. And we're not going to close all our boundaries with barbed wire. So the entire idea of making a wall is extremely very wrong. So I think the money was earmarked. And it was earmarked for misuse and for abuse, particularly by the executive, and for those who are going to man the Ministry for Defense. So generally, what happens is that project that is earmarked for that kind of area
But Mheshimiwa, maybe just shifting gears, we've seen you mobilizing members of parliament to oppose the appointment or the nomination of Professor Magoha as the CS for education. Maybe why?
Well, let me tell you one thing clearly. The removal of Honorable Ambassador Amina as a CS for education was ill-advised. Amina was very hardworking, even as a Minister for Foreign Office, and she has done remarkable achievement as far as education is concerned. She was able to roll out transition, 100% transition. She was able to roll out the new curriculum, and she was able to do an exams that is flawless. So basically, if you look at it, Amina's performance has been extremely very good. And we as a region, it is the only time we realize that we are going to get good teachers through an affirmative action which has been gazetted. We were able to get 320 teachers who will be able to get D+ and D.
So why against Magoha?
Magoha, he was in charge of, he may have a very impressive CV for that matter, but for the period he has been in charge of National Examination Council, we realized that 3,250 students from northern Kenya, the results have been cancelled. We know in terms of transactions, in terms of technological advancement, these people have been low. So for us to be profiled as people who are not performing well, whose results are going to be denied, we felt that was an affront to us. And we don't deserve that. Where will 3,250 children who have no results, will they be able to go? Will they be able to subscribe to Al-Shabaab? Will they be able to go to other issues? So we felt he has not done well in terms of his docket as National Examination Council for that matter. So we feel he's nominee. And if you look at even that number, for those who added to the Northeastern Province, other places from Mumias.
I'll cut you short. I'll cut you short for that because of our time. Well, thanks a lot, Mheshimiwa. And Grace, that has been the Member for Parliament for Wajir East, Rashid Kasim, just also telling us that they are marshalling members of Parliament to oppose the nomination of Professor Magoha as the Cabinet Secretary for Education. Let's see how that turns out when that name comes at the floor of the House, probably next week. Grace, back to you.
Thank you very much, Chris Dairu there.